Very good afternoon, jury members. A very good afternoon to my fellow colleagues, friends. This is a very simple case on the Allied Bank of India. And I am represented here on this case by myself, my team comprising of Chandrasekhar, Dinesh, Akhilesh, and Jitin. All of us will field questions when we reach there. Get to the presentation, I want to build a context around what are the business challenges that were there in front of Allied Bank and how they got translated into IT initiatives and IT goals. Please remember that it is a very well-run bank, and that was the first statement that came out in the case study, run by very able team members, but they have such an ambitious and an audacious growth path and a growth journey that's there in front of them, that whatever they have done till now dwarfs in comparison of what they have to do in the future, which essentially means that what I did till now may not be good enough for the future, and hence I need to change and make modifications to my strategy going forward. What was also reality for this bank is there are shrinking profit margins, there's a reduction in treasury income, and there is hence a need to enhance revenues by creating new revenue streams and diversifying into newer revenue streams related to the banking environment only. Obviously, to open up new revenue streams, you need to get into new products, new markets. So it is again in the case study, it was mentioned that it's an urban bank. It has a widespread in its and in urban locales, and hence, if I need to diversify, if I need to grow strongly, and I'm not very aware of the banking regulation, but again, I need to mobilize myself at the bottom of the pyramid where the entire rural banking and the microfinancing is. And hence, is there a leverage, is there a technology leverage that I can imply to enhance revenues by getting into those markets as well? Along with this, even with the existing as well as with the newer customers that I add due to my various strategies, there would be a tremendous pressure on newer products and newer services to generate newer revenue streams. And hence, how would IT, number one, how would IT help me in creating those platforms and enabling me to reach the markets faster, quicker, much ahead of what the competition can do? Obviously, the product services need to be customer friendly. They need to come in channels that the customers want to access the bank as. So, for example, a mobile urban Facebook user may want to do it on a mobile phone, whereas a rural bank would want the bank to come to their house to actually go ahead and do the banking transaction. So how can IT hopefully provide solutions, guidance in terms of going ahead and providing these capabilities? Rural outreach channel, new channels, new products. So those are the critical key challenges when we painted that picture and said, this is what we would want IT to do. We had this as a broad roadmap of what the business situation and how would we go about doing the same. Now, I just want to transform this to an IT challenge and said, what are the IT challenges in front of the CIO and the members of the team? The first is, and it's true for any bank, the case study told us that the systems are unreliable, there's power outages, there are downtimes. The first and foremost, ask any CEO and he would tell you, gotta make the platform stable. Let the business run. Before we come to the innovation, get out of my office, ensure that what is there runs. So the first and foremost step is make data centers reliable. Being a bank, I typically cannot go ahead and directly outsource it. Hence, a lot of investments would be needed to make the basic infrastructure, the core infrastructure, as reliable, as strong, ironclad as it is possible to do. The second is I need to go ahead and attract, retain, acquire new customers. And for that, there has to be a very, very focused approach in terms of new products and new services that I would give to various segments of the market. There would be a separate set of services that would possibly get released for the urban customers, and there would be a separate set of services that possibly I would release it for the rural and the market outreach that I have. Critical IT challenge would again be, how do I retain customers? How do I delight customers with IT innovations? But there are innovations that can be led by IT and would provide possibly a new revenue streams for the bank going forward. Young and trendy. So if it's an urban bank, it will continue to penetrate more into urban areas. The newer customers are young and middle class educated customers who will come in the urban environment. And hence, They are typically Facebook users, and they would have earplugs on them on their ears at possibly most of the times when you see them in the metro, when you see them anywhere. Can I give them Facebook credits from my bank? So is there a possibility by which I can get some money, convert them to Facebook credits, put them on their Facebook account, and then possibly they gift Facebook smileys, they give Facebook bouquets or whatever else that the young generation today does. And the business would provide as an enabler for Facebook type users to continue the social lifestyle as well as participate and have a wallet share in the entire pie going forward. All consumers, today if I need to make a demand draft and put it for a university for an application, for example, I need to create a demand draft, a physical demand draft comes to me, and then I need to attach it, staple it along with an application form and send. There are technologies which are enabled by which I can actually take an image, attach it along with the email across, and send it across as a check, which can then get converted by the recipient into his bank. So there are technologies available. Why can't our bank look at that and ease out the transaction-related hassles that an end user or consumer has? Upwardly mobile, if I ask anyone across in this room to open up his wallet, at least 20 cards or 10 cards would be there. Various banks, various credit cards, etc. Is there a method by which I can create a consortium, and this is at a higher level, so we didn't know how to address this, but is there that I should have a single card? I go into any ATM, and today it's possible, and it should ask me which bank do you want to transact at, and I say Allied Bank, and it goes ahead and does that. So rather than keeping a bunch of cards, can I carry one card? I have the debit pins and so on and so forth. Cash transfer. I have a kid who goes to school and has caught with an emergency. Obviously, he doesn't have a ATM card with him, assuming all kids today have mobile phones at beyond a certain age at least. Can I enable him or can I transfer him cash? While Airtel has come with the mobile cash and so on, it's still restricted to certain shops and certain methods by which you can dispense cash at. And it's not that you get cash at hand. Can I do a transaction in which an email goes across to him with a barcode? He goes to any ATM, shows that barcode across and gets cash out. It gets debited from my account. So ATMs would need to get enabled with a barcode reader, and I show the barcode, I get cash out. Seamless. I can do it at any, preferably only at Allied Bank ATMs, but I can do it all across. Portfolio management. For example, you have to go to the bank today. Whether it's a website, you're sitting at your house and doing, but you are going to the bank and doing a transaction. I want to change the entire paradigm and say the bank comes to you. You deploy a small app, put it on your mobile phone or put it on your desktop, and that's what it is. Your spend history, your credit card history, it gives you much more than an online banking information can give you. Can give you reports like you spend most of your money on travel, you spend most of your money on hotels, etc., etc., etc. It can give you trends. It can actually do a portfolio management for you. Much more than what possibly an online banking environment would, which is related to the simple set of transactions that a bank does. A lot of things have been said about big data. A lot of things have been said about big data, about consumer habits, etc. And a lot of trends can be picked up, and I can do a lot of targeted services around them. Video conferencing, in a sense, unified messaging is being talked about. Can I create a service out of it? If a guy goes to a rural outreach as a part of a piggy bank, can I say you can also speak to your son who's working in Delhi, and this is at a rural level? I have video conferencing. It's all part of the organization for me. I can do it as a social cause. I can actually turn it into a money-making device. And I can actually do a video conferencing. The guy would be standing at a Delhi pre-organized, and it can actually get converted into an idea. A piggy bank idea, local homes. You have a safe that you keep it at a local house.
5 minutes.
At a local house, and when on a weekly basis, because it has to be a cost-profit analysis. So rather than going daily to a rural outreach, you go on a weekly basis. The keys are with the bank, so the villager continues to use about $10 every day in the piggy bank. On a weekly basis, I collect 70 rupees from him, put it in the bank. That's part of his deposits that come. Rather than going there every day, I'm still asking him to save every day, but doing it on a weekly basis. If I were to do these innovations, and there are a lot more that we thought of, but we thought we should only put in a few. The first step, and I again repeat, is to ensure that the platforms are stable. before we actually add on to the platforms. Improve availability significantly, proactive issue identification, resolution, assure software and hardware compliance, provisioning, deprovisioning, all the aspects which are related to data center. And there's so many things that are written. I can go ahead and deploy the entire set of technologies which are available through BMC or any other competition. But the intent is take the hardware and the lower layer out of the CEO's mind at all. It should not even be a discussion point in any of the conference rooms. There's an implementation plan, but I'm not going through that. Cloud technology, there are so many such applications which are self-service applications which should be on the cloud rather than to be on a local thing where you have a transaction that requires a human being to do that transaction for you. Your leaves, your HR, your payroll, all those sort of things which a user would want to request and a service has to be delivered to him. Needs to be on the cloud without any doubt. So you deliver, for them you deliver IT as a service, go forward and do that. Unified communication, I've already talked. You can take it to whichever extent that you want to take to. Data center transformation, I've spoken. Machine-to-machine communication, when you're going to a rural bank, you can have all the vans, etc., continue to speak to you so that you know that you are safe, your banks are safe, your mobile caches are safe, etc., and you can build perimeters around them to ensure that you protect their deployment. Big data I mentioned was around a social network, and you can use the paradigms of how do people do transactions, what do they spend time on. If you have the time to do an analysis, then you can do a very, very targeted, segmented approach in terms of what services do I offer to Mr. A and what services do I offer to Mr. B. I think if I look at this as an implementation plan going forward, it's a 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 year journey, possibly more. And you need to craft a strategy around each one of them, evaluate them very, very carefully in terms of which vendors you want to go with, and then take them forward with the support of management going forward around this. So this is all that we want to say as part of our case. Thank you very much. We'll invite all questions.
Yeah. I think you presented it very well. There's one point which is just coming to my mind.
Sure.
On the ATM side.
Sure.
Is there a possibility of using the ATMs? ATM is one way of dispensing money to customers, of receiving utility payments or something like that, which would also grow in terms of, business.
So there's a...
Like, utility, I mean, say, power, water, gas, whatever, telecom, whatever. So, that could add to a huge business growth. Is that one which you have considered in your overall things? And the whole data becomes too large, in terms of handling.
So my comment there would be there are much better and easier technologies which are available to do the mobile bills and the utility bills rather than actually getting into the ATM mode, because for that actually you have to go to the ATM. You can do it simply on your mobile, and that's one of the services that we have listed. Like Airtel, and I did mention it during my presentation, that you can do all utility bill payments from Airtel, and it's a reality, or not all, but most of them using Airtel, which is a reality today. And there's no reason why a bank would not tie up with such a service provider, and it needs a partnership approach between a mobile telco operator and the bank to ensure that you have an M account, which is a mobile account, which is a money account, which gets directly debited to your bank, and it's linked to that. It's possible, sir.
No, but that's, in mobile, either you have deposited with the operator or you operate through your bank, right? But in a ATM, you physically pay. You put those cash in the machine. So that's one thing, which eliminates a whole lot of collections by the utility and a whole lot of, those are issues.
Can anyone from my team answer?
Technically, the time is over, but if there was a question there, then I'll allow the team to answer it.
So, Vikas, after this, can I ask one question, if you don't mind?
All right, fine, fair enough.
So I have a question, you mentioned you want to use Facebook bucks or F bucks or whatever.
Sure.
So tell me why, are you seriously considering handing over your customer to Facebook and then Facebook can kind of take away your customer?
I would say that's a tricky question. From a ability to actually, if I'm able to interface with the Facebook and provided this was possible logically, quite a lot of my my customers would also be on the Facebook. So it's not a question of giving your customers away. But there's a goodie which I have available which will get posted on the Facebook. It's also an advertisement. It will actually take more people from Facebook and bring it to Allied Bank.
So, let me kind of, get this a little bit more clear. I don't
Sure.
use Facebook bucks, but I do use PayPal.
Yeah.
And once I move to PayPal, I don't need my bank. I just need my bank to transfer money to PayPal. After that, my loyalty to the bank finishes. And so that's kind of a conundrum which I'm thinking through. And secondly, why does Facebook need you? As a bank, once you've handed over your customer to Facebook?
Anyone wants to answer before I do?
No. Facebook nowadays, many customers are on the Facebook. It's not that why does Facebook take Allied banking system. But at the same time, if Allied banking system is able to encourage the Facebook users, it's an advantage for the other users also to come onto the Facebook and use these facilities. In a way, it's increasing the business of the Facebook.
Can I change PayPal to Allied Bank?
Sorry, we are running out of time, so I'll let this go. But I'm struggling to see how you will make money.
Okay.